Welcome to the Dynon channel, your video source for information, education, and training on Dynon Avionics' industry-leading line of integrated avionics for experimental amateur-built and light sport aircraft. Today's topic, SkyView System, Autopilot Expert Mode, Engaging the Autopilot.
Okay, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to cover engaging the autopilot using the expert control scheme or menu system. Just a basic method for engaging the autopilot, and we'll discuss how it functions in that mode. On my display here, you can see we're currently looking at SkyView's main menu. Button 1 says PFD. That's the reference that we're looking at the main menu. Button 4 labeled autopilot is how we get to the autopilot controls. So I'm pressing that now, and here we're seeing the main autopilot control menu. In future videos, I'll discuss the roll and pitch controls in more detail. I want to start with now just the quickest, simplest method for engaging the autopilot using this expert menu. So imagine that we've taken off. In my case, I'm cruising level about 6,000 feet, but we might have just departed from the runway knowing that we're going to be flying into the clouds soon. The simplest way to engage the autopilot is to reach up and press button 2, which is labeled AP for autopilot. I'm going to press that now and notice what happens. Okay, notice that the AP button turns green, meaning that mode is engaged. The button next to it, labeled FD for Flight Director, is also green. The Flight Director is engaged, and you see that here on the primary flight display. The magenta bars is the graphical representation of the Flight Director. Those are command bars telling where to point the airplane to have it do what you're requesting of the autopilot. Notice on the status bar at the top of the SkyView display, the left portion of the status bar is reserved for enunciating the status of the autopilot. The middle portion of the autopilot section says the label AP for autopilot, and it's green just like the menu buttons. Again, with reference to the autopilot, green indicates engaged. In this case, the autopilot is engaged, and there are carrots pointing left and right. The left carrot points to the roll axis indicator, so that tells me the roll axis servo is engaged. The green carrot pointing to the right, pointing to the pitch axis, tells me that the pitch axis servo is also engaged. Now on the left side, the roll axis says we are in the roll mode, and that means roll hold. The autopilot currently is holding the bank angle of almost 0 degrees, which is the angle at which the airplane was flying when I engaged the autopilot. Switching to the pitch mode enunciation, it says we are in VS mode with the label 300. That means the autopilot in the pitch axis is functioning in the vertical speed mode and maintaining a vertical speed of 300 feet per minute. Again, that's the vertical speed at which the aircraft was flying when I pressed the AP button. Now that's the simplest and quickest method to engage the autopilot in the expert mode. And that's what I use when I'm departing the runway, knowing that I'm perhaps going to be flying into an overcast. I simply make sure I have the airplane at a positive climb rate, wings level, and I press the AP button. And it will carry on in this mode until either I disconnect or choose an alternative mode using the roll and pitch menus. I'll cover each of those axes in a separate video.
For more information on planning or capabilities of the SkyView system, please see our website at dynonavionics.com, where you can find links to our system installation guides, pilot user guides, and other valuable information like our user forum. Thank you for watching the Dynon channel.